Hello. Okay. Hi, everyone. I am going live again today. This is day 3 of going live. I'm so excited to be here today and trying this out and being visible. Oh my God, why is this so hard? I don't know why being visible is so hard. Yeah, dude. Yay, I have people joining. Hi, Alejandra. We were talking about you last night. I don't know if your ears were ringing. I was a part of a speaking group program this summer, which was outstanding. And we had such an amazing group of people. And we all got together last night. And some of us did. It was lovely. Okay, I am going to tell you a story about moving to New York City when I was 25 years old. Let me step back. So I'm originally from Texas, grew up in Texas. I'm an Aggie, graduated Texas A&M 2003. I was like, get me out of Texas, New York or LA, get me out of here. I knew I needed to go to big city. And between New York and LA, I had family in LA. So my 2 older cousins, who kind of like big brothers to me, lived in LA, and it made it so much easier to come out here. I also fucking love California. Okay. I love LA. I love California. Always have. And it called to me. So I came to LA first. And I have a whole story about my first job and how I landed out here. But today I'm going to talk about moving to New York. So I was living in LA 5 years in. I had been promoted to media supervisor. I was working on the Kia Motors account. Great job, like an excellent job. I mean, I was working at, let's see, what is Kara? Kara is Dentsu Publicis. I should know these things. I think it's Dentsu. So I was working at Kara. I was a media supervisor. I was working on Kia Motors. We had just done our first upfronts for Kia Motors. We had just grown their budget. I think we were at like $25 million. Isn't that funny? The $25 million was like a big budget for Kia Motors. That's like pennies now. Anyway, I digress. We were doing amazing things with Kia. We were helping them launch in digital. I'm digital background, and I was doing really well. And I just had this burning passion inside of me. I had something that I needed to do. And there is a quote by the band Garbage, which is my absolute favorite band, which is funny because I'm named after the Fleetwood Mac song, Rhiannon. So I love Fleetwood Mac, but Garbage, Shirley Manson, she just speaks to me. And there's this phrase that she says, when nothing seems too certain or safe, let it burn through you. And I had this burning calling inside of me that I had to live in New York City. I had to live in London. I had to live somewhere else, a big city. And I just had this calling inside of me. So I worked through my networks at Kara, and I was interviewing for this job in London. And I was on like my 3rd round of interviews. And they were like, Rhiannon, we're pitching this piece of business. If we get this piece of business, we can get your visa. We can bring you to London. We want you. They pitched the piece of business, Kodak. Okay. Kodak does not exist anymore. Yeah, they did not win that piece of business. Kodak was very faulty. Yeah, did not exist anymore. So job opportunity fell through, and this big, thing that I was going to get didn't happen. But I had to go. I had to go somewhere, and New York, I didn't need a visa. That was why I picked it. So I tried to transfer within my company, but they didn't have a media supervisor position open in New York. And I was like, I don't care. I'm going anyway. So I sold everything I had in California, all my furniture, everything. I got it basically into like everything I could fit in my car, drove to Texas, had my parents help me sell my car, and was there for the holidays. And January, right out of the gate, I flew to New York City with 2 suitcases. And I got a room at the YMCA hotel, YMCA, not a hotel. Okay. Not a hotel. And I just got a room at the YMCA in Harlem. Okay. Not like glamorous. There was no bathroom in the room. Okay. This was like bathroom was down the hall. It was at the YMCA. I had 2 suitcases. It was freezing cold in the room. I remember that the the window was like the cold air was coming in through the window. So I went out and bought clear tape and I had to tape the windowsill so that the air couldn't blow in and make the room freezing. And it was like this I used my overcoat as like the additional blanket because the blanket that was there was not warm enough. So I slept in my overcoat over my blanket. Quite an experience. So this was 2007. Okay, this is before the iPhone, guys. Okay, there was no Google Maps to how do I get to where I want to go. I had set up over the holidays informational interviews at all the top ad agencies in New York. So McCann, Erickson, PhD, all of them, Zenith. I had informational interviews booked. And for the first couple of days, I just hit the subway and figured out how to get there and went and interviewed. I had to show up. I had to be visible. I had to package myself with my resume and what I was offering, which was media supervisor level, at mid-tier, perfectly able to hire, not too expensive, not too, not a ton of assistance. I was valuable in the role and the title that I was looking for. So I tried for a couple of AMD roles, tried for supervisor roles. Essentially, PhD, for example, told me, I'll write you an offer today, but you're going to go shop that around. So I'm not writing you an offer. If you want a job here, I will give you the offer. This is what I'll pay you. And, but I'm not going to write you an offer because you're going to go shop it around. They knew. And so I got an offer from McCann Erickson and I want to say Horizon. I think I had an offer from Horizon. I don't remember Donnie. I don't think Donnie Williams actually gave me that offer. I had great interviews at Horizon, but I don't think I ended up getting that offer. I would have taken it. Donnie Williams, love you. Okay. So I took the job at McCann Erickson. The joke at the time was it was called McCash because they paid more. So that was my decision maker. I also really loved my boss, Paul Benju. Amazing, amazing human. And yeah, I was off to the races. I had a job offer, and now I could go get an apartment. So in New York City, you have to have a broker. You have to pay broker's fees like a real estate agent just to get a rental. It is so expensive. And because I didn't have, I had money, I had this great job offer, but I didn't have I don't remember credit, whatever it was I needed. I had to give them first month's, last month's, and 3 months rent ahead of time to get this apartment in the East Village. And I did whatever it took. So I got a credit card and I went and pulled $10,000 off of a credit card. So all the fees that go with pulling cash off of a credit card, and put that money down. And I just bet on myself. I was like, I've got this great job. I'm going to pay this off. I think it was 0% for a year. God, I wish they still had those kinds of credit cards, man. But it was amazing. It was an amazing opportunity that I did that. Got this apartment. And it was in the East Village. It was a third floor of a walk up above a coffee shop called Mud. I got to smell coffee every morning. Holy shit. This apartment was amazing. And I forever think of that experience as this shit that I did. I moved there with no job, no place to live, a one-way ticket, 2 suitcases, and just figured it the fuck out. And I loved it. I had this little foldable map. So yeah, Alejandro just put, how did you survive without Google Maps? I know. I had, my aunt had given me this little fold up map that I could unfold it and it would fit in my hand. So I could carry it in my pocket everywhere. So I had this map for a year and it was my, I wouldn't leave the house without it. It was like leaving my house with my keys and my map. And so I could see, okay, I want to get here. I got to take this subway to this subway to this subway. And, a year in, I tell this story too. A friend came to visit me, Grace from LA. She came to visit me. She stayed with me, and I handed over my map to her, and I was like, "Here, please don't take this with you because I'm lending this amazing thing to you while you're here. Don't take this with you because I rely on this every single day." That bitch took that map with her back to LA, and I did not have that map anymore. And let me tell you, that was actually the best thing that could have happened because it showed me I knew the map. I knew the map inside and out. I could get across town. I knew how to get what trains I needed to get to where I needed to go. I'd lived there a year. So it took me a year to really feel like I knew where I was. I knew what I was doing. I could get anywhere where I needed to go via the subway, because cabs were so expensive in New York. This is before Uber. Okay. Like, cabs were so expensive. It was like, you're just going to take the subway and walk. But what I really learned about that I apply to my business every single day is be visible. You got to show up. You got to be there. It wouldn't have mattered if I'd emailed all those HR people from LA and been like, hey, like, hire me. I'm a media supervisor. Like, no, I asked for informational interviews. I asked to come in and meet with them. I showed up. I had to be there. I had to position myself. And in the packaging and positioning of that, right? Like, I went in at a media supervisor level, like mid-tier, easy to hire. You always need a good media supervisor on your team. I wasn't asking for, I tried with the AMD level. That's just a bit too higher pay, whatever. I got promoted to AMD. Funny story is that PhD HR person reached out to me a year later, and she was like, Rhiannon, I remember you. We had a great conversation. And what I loved was that you had auto experience out of LA. And we want to bring you in because we're potentially going to have an auto business in PhD. And so they brought me over as the associate media director on the Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep account out of Detroit, which, if anyone understands auto and you know anything about Detroit auto, you don't run it out of New York City. Bad failed attempt, but I did it. I was the AMD on that piece of business. It was quite an experience and quite a road, but they remembered me. Like, they remembered a great interview with me, an informational interview. A year later, they reached out to me and pulled me over. So great learning out of that too is just showing up, being yourself, being authentic, showing your value, right? Things can come back a year later. And I have seen that time and again, actually, in this current version of my business, which is my current client. He's a real estate agent, and we're about to launch his website. Looks like next week. His new brand, his new positioning, his je ne sais quoi is coming through. It's going to be absolutely phenomenal. And I'm so proud of this website. Alex came to me a year ago. He wanted a new website and he just wasn't ready. He wasn't ready. I gave him ballpark costs. I gave him what I thought he needed. I told him a bunch of things. We did a couple connection calls, feel it out, but he wasn't ready. So a year later, he came to me and he's like, okay, Rhiannon, I'm ready now. And I'm so thankful that, you never know. So the way that I do my lead product is through an initial call, and then I follow up with a link and I say, here's my booking link. Whenever you're ready, you can book and pay directly through my link. And I hadn't talked to Alex in a year. And all of a sudden I get this email coming in that Alex Smith booked a vitality plan. And I was like, what? Like, a year later, this guy went and found my old email with my link. Here's your next step. You have to book a vitality plan. You have to book this call with me. And he booked and paid a year later on that link. So you never know how long it could take for someone to be ready to come book with you. And you never know what's going to kind of push them into it. But we just got to keep showing up. So those are kind of like the long story through from being in LA and having this great life and great job of being like, there's something more. I got to do something more. Moving to New York, no job, no place to live, one-way ticket, landing that first job. And then a year later, getting a phone call being like, hey, I remember meeting you. I want you to come work for us. And that was quite an amazing experience and something that I always take with me no matter where I go. You got to give people time. You got to consultative sell. Like, I'm a big believer in, like, I'm going to tell you what you need for your business. I'm going to tell you what you need for your brand, and you're going to come to me when you're ready. And if I push hard or I show desperation or I'm telling you that you need something, as much as I want to do that inside, right? Sometimes I want to shake people. I know exactly what you need. You can't. Like, people are going to do it when they're going to do it. And it's true for me too. So I'm showing up now. I'm doing the things that I did in my 20s again at 44 and being like, Rhiannon, listen to yourself. And I'm so grateful to be a part of this community of small businesses and founders and entrepreneurs who are doing the damn thing because it's hard. And having that corporate experience as a foundation and then moving into this and feeling this love. I got someone else on my live. Yay. Hi, Sonia. And I'm pushing myself to show up live. I'm pushing myself to talk about these stories because I have a ton of them, but also how can I bring value and how can I teach something that maybe somebody can feel like sometimes things take a year to sell. Sometimes people take a year to come back and like want you on their team. Sometimes it just takes time. And I'll close out today with just kind of my my little inner like mantra that I've been telling myself over those last couple of days, because we're sitting in October 3rd, we're sitting in Q4. We have all had a year. Okay, there doesn't matter which time of, you know, which political party you're in, whatever things, however you lean. This year's been hard on a lot of us. This year is a very interesting year across the board. And we're sitting in Q4 and we want to think about how we're just got to move forward with what we have. This is where we're at. This is where we've been. This is what we know. And how are we going to move forward with that? And so in Q4, I am starting to just be with it. This is what I've got. This is what I know. Let's go. I'm going to show up and be visible. I'm going to try to help some people. I'm going to try to impart knowledge and push myself. And if I can show up for myself, everybody's showing up for them too. Alejandra had a question. Thank you. What would you tell yourself 10 years ago? Gosh, let's see. So I'm 44. 35 was a rough year for me. I had a lot of internal personal change happening and growth. Mid-30s, I think, is just that time where you sort of self-reflect, like, where do you want to go in your life next? 40, right? Those milestone years, 35, 40. And I think that, like, it's just do the thing, like, to do whatever you're scared of, whatever feels uncertain or safe, let it burn through you. Like, let it, whatever that inner voice is calling in you, like, do it. I wish I would have done this and shown up live 10 years ago, even when I was still in corporate. Like, even when I was still in corporate, I should have just shown up and done the visible thing. I have these stories, I have things to say, but I was so afraid that I wasn't giving value in my stories, and that limitation stopped me. And so through the coaching programs that I'm a part of and through what I'm learning, I'm feeling like, okay, whatever this story is that I have, I can shift into what is the takeaway. And that one little line for me has helped me show up more. So thank you to Jen Gottlieb. I say her name all the time. She says my name wrong too. Rhiannon. Jen Gottlieb. Pushing me and teaching me to tell the story and the takeaway. And that one little thing has helped me a ton to tell the story and the takeaway. So my takeaway, what I would tell myself, yeah, I think so. What I would tell myself 10 years ago for that question is just keep showing up. Be a thought leader, even on LinkedIn, even if you're still in corporate, even if you don't know what to say. That's the point. Like, keep showing up and talking about it and keep talking about what it is that you know. That's what you have to do. Just talk about what you know. Talk about your experience. Tell a story. I want to hear your story. So we're right at time. We're right at 10 o'clock. I am moving into a collaboration. On Fridays, I'm going to be doing collaboration lives on Instagram. So I'm going to end on YouTube and I'm going to come over to Instagram, check me out on Fridays. I'm going to start doing collaborations and yeah, I'm excited to shift into that. And if you want to do a collaboration with me, let me know, comment, link to me, and let's do collaborations on Fridays. Okay. Awesome. Thank you everyone on YouTube. Okay. I'm going to come over to Instagram. Okay. Yay. All right. Liz,